Topical and atypical. Unfiltered and independent. 100% authentic and intelligent.
You know, it hit me this morning that I've been thinking about this book tour all wrong, because I'm not going on a book tour. I'm going on a mission. When you understand and you realize how propagandized we are as a nation, and that that's not some made up shit, that is actualized billion-dollar effort that's been going on since the end of World War II, you understand that they have identified individuals who are focused on waking people up and taking them out, because when the people wake up, they will not allow for what's been done in their name to continue, and for what's been done to them to continue. You realize that you're not going on tour. You're going on a mission. I've been so unsettled this morning, and I think it's because I'm waking up to, well, first of all, it's the second of the month. But you know, fall is when we release, we let go that which is no longer bringing in nutrients. We alleviate ourselves of that which is encumbering us, because we know we have to hunker down for that which is coming. And we know, as Ned Stark has always told us, winter is coming. And I'm heading out on this book tour with a book that is not about pop culture. It's not about relationships. It's not about any frivolities that I've engaged myself in the past. What would the ancestors say is literally about what would our ancestors say about where we are? What type of ancestors are we trying to be for the future? And that is not a small concept. That's not it's not even a linear concept. And so I'm over here trying to wrap my head around going out on this road to, you know, share this work with you and bring these books to you. And I'm realizing that the reason why I feel like I'm so kind of like unsettled about it is because I'm not going out in the same way that I have gone out before as a comic on tour or doing Smart, Funny, and Black on tour. This is a mission to awaken, to empower, to educate, not just for the sake of it, but for literally our lives. See you there. Go to AmandaSeals.com for cities and dates. What up, y'all? Good morning. Welcome to Views from Amanda Land. Your news and truths by any joke necessary. Thank you for waking up on the right side of history. If you came here to talk about Zohran Mamdani, you in the wrong place. You in the wrong place. You in the wrong place. And let me tell you why. Because I'm not a hater. You know, I'm not a hater. I know that this is, something for people or whatever. And in a time where there ain't much for people, hey, man, do all of that. But people want things from me that are not even aligned with my personality. So, and I'm not going to do that. I don't get excited about a lot. I get excited about kittens and trips. I get excited about dogs. Okay? That's the type of stuff I get excited about. I don't get excited about politics. I get inspired. I get driven. I get disenchanted. I get energy. Wait, the live stream and the book, those are still available, Mimi. Yeah, those are completely available. So I feel like y'all do your dance, be excited, all the things. I actually said to myself today, I'm going to give myself a break. So while everybody is busy talking politics, I'm not. I'm not. I'm not. I'm not going to talk about politics because we talk about it all the gosh darn time. And Angelica, you sent me stuff while I was on the phone with somebody and I didn't get to look at it, but I knew it was deep because it was highlighted text from a book. So I was like, oh, Angelica's up and at 'em this morning. Why would you even ask me this? So here's the thing that I want to just reiterate for the 11 billionth time on this internet. You're in a chat with no picture and a fake name, asking me to change my venue for my book event for no reason. No reason. I can't understand stuff like that. And this is it right here. People watch it. There's a difference between being direct and being overstepping, transgression. Just habitual line steppers. No, I'm not changing the goddamn event space. What? That was wild. I just had to show y'all that because I could have let that go, but I was like, nah, I gotta. I'm going on this book tour. The Zios are out and in full effect trying to shut me down. I will not let them. Deetra mad funny. Deetra said, and can you pick up a Gatorade on the way? Busboys is controversial in the DC area. What isn't, ma'am? You know what Busboys is for me? Free. Busboys is controversial. Everything is controversial. I was at Busboys and there was a bunch of black people in there and there was a bunch of pro-Palestinian people in there and a bunch of books. So I want you, and by the way, this is the same thing that y'all say about politicians. You'll be like, I mean, no politician is perfect. And I'm just like, yes, Memphis got canceled after a year of going back, after a year talking to the Memphis Library and them consistently saying, we want you back, we want you back, we want you back, we want you back, we want you back. They at the last minute got on some, just trying to, things just started becoming far more difficult than they need to be. And I am in flow. So when things become strained and difficult in a way that is nonsensical, I let it go. Let it go. I let it go. I let it go. I also know that I'm on a mission, and I think it's fascinating that people hold the people that hold politicians accountable to a higher standard than politicians who actually have the power to affect your life with legislation, with who they take money from, etc. I find it fascinating that I woke up this morning to people like all up in a live that I did during the day yesterday. And I think a lot of it is bots, but they were basically like mad that I said Mamdani may win. However, what are you going to do differently? And so we're going to get into that after we talk to our guest today, Jesse Mechanic. Jesse Mechanic is a high quality white, and he has a book called The Last Time We Spoke. It is beautiful. Okay. And he did the drawings, and it is really just, it's like a literal beautiful book. Okay. So I'm excited to talk to Jesse, who is also a beautiful person. So we're going to talk to Jesse Mechanic at 10:30. And I just want to remind you all, though, that like you listen to me because I'm different. That's why I feel like I'm having an existential crisis lately, but I just feel like I am different. I'm not interested in the same things people are for the same reasons. I am not linear thinking in the same way that other people are. I'm a consummate creative. I'm an artist. I literally have a completely different grid as my mainframe than many other people. And so it really becomes sometimes frustrating because you're like in your grid in the midst of kind of just regularness. Okay, so microwave is in Gatorade. That makes sense. I'm taking an astrology class, and that really be a real thing. So I'm excited to come out on the road and see y'all. I am really appreciative of folks showing up, even if they don't even buy a book. Just come and show love. I'll be in San Diego tomorrow. I'll be in Los Angeles, then Seattle, Detroit, Chicago. So here's some details. So I'll be in San Diego tomorrow at the Chrysalis Monarch Center for the Arts. It's going down at 6:30 p.m. Come on out. I don't know why that looks like that for Seattle, but I will be in Seattle. This is all on my Instagram as well. And if you signed up for the newsletter, you'll be getting this in the newsletter as well. I will be in Chicago at Burst Into Books. Now, this is a small space, so we did it differently where you do actually have to buy a book to be in the space. And then I will be in Detroit on Tuesday. Oh, those are out of order. I'll be in Detroit on the 11th. So I'll be in Chicago on the 12th and Detroit on the 11th. And I would love for you all to share these with your peoples, your audiences, et cetera, et cetera. You can go on my Instagram and literally screenshot it and post it. That would really mean a lot to me. I would really appreciate that. And the book drops on the 8th. So I will be doing the live stream. The live stream is still available for you to get tickets to. And there's 2 versions of tickets. So you can get tickets either to the live stream by itself, or you can get tickets to the live stream with a signed book in the bundle. So that's all happening. And what else? I mean, I think it's really just right now for me a really important time to stay focused and not get wrapped up. This is a very wrapped up time. It's getting very willy-nilly. It's getting very extra. I don't know who Sid is, but apparently Sid is a hater. Sid said, "You're different in a simple way, but you're missing the inspiration. It feels like hate and disgust when you speak." That's funny. It feels like hate and disgust, y'all. Oh, man, that's a lot. It feels like hate and disgust. Oof. Truth be feeling like that. That's why they say the truth hurts. You know? It's like if you're not on the bandwagon, people are like, they will try to pull you. If you're not on the bandwagon, they will run you over with the bandwagon. And they tell you exactly how you need to be on the bandwagon. They tell you exactly what you need to be doing on the bandwagon. It's like, are we in a parade? They just want you all up on this shit. And I'm like, I'm not that girl. I'm not that girl. You know, there was a conversation, there was a video that came out recently, and then a study that also aligns with it, that time is cyclical. So the concept of the future is really just imaginative, which is what it's supposed to be. But at the end of the day, like, time as it exists is really only in the now and what's already happened, right? So when people are excited about something that hasn't even happened based on nothing that's happened before, it's weird to me. That's a weird concept to me. I can understand being hopeful. I can understand being curious. I can understand being interested. But for me personally, as Amanda Seales, I don't experience excitement about things that I have far more examples of being problematic than dope. Okay? And as Kismet J said, she don't even like wagons. So on the subject of politicians, I don't have a stored credit of reasons to be excited about politicians. I have a stored credit of reasons to be excited about kittens. Kittens are awesome all the time. Hence, why I get excited about kittens. Okay. Anywho, let's do our roll call, and then we're going to talk to Jesse Mechanic. This was a video. Look at that. And yeah. And we're going to end a little early today because I got things to do. And our Patreon folks will do what they always do, which is get on the after show and hang out and talk and learn about all the things. So remember, you can join the Seales Squad by going to patreon.com/Amanda Seales. It is a $5 subscription. Okay. It's a $5 subscription. So if you're like, dang, like, what's a really inexpensive way that I can support Amanda Seales' work? There you go. $5. All right. My neck is burning, so something annoying is about to happen shortly. Being psychic is really irritating sometimes. All right. Let me see where you at, Amanda. and tell me where you're watching from. National City, California, Carlsbad, California, Cleveland, Ohio, Patterson, New Jersey, Chicago, Detroit, Arlington, Virginia, Decatur, where it's greater, Philly, LA, another Chicago, BK, Flatbush, Bloomfield, New Jersey, Atlanta, GA, back in trifling at Paces, Middleborough, Massachusetts, up in her, Durham, North Carolina, London, Nashville, Tennessee, Austin, Texas, South Orange, New Jersey, Richardson, Tejas, Stone Mountain, Georgia, Los Angeles, Memphis, Maine, Long Island, New York, their bed in Salt Lake City, Utah, Philly, Queens, New York, Manchester, UK, Long Beach, California, Everett, Massachusetts, 2 votes in the DMV, Eastside Bel-Air's in the United Snakes, Houston, Ridgewood, Queens, baby, Dallas, Fort Worth, Kate's house, I don't know why I said it like that, Harlem, Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia, Norfolk, Virginia, Toronto, Canada, Tampa, Florida, H-Town, on which side, the south or the north, Sleepy in Santiago, Oxford County, Ontario, Orlando, Florida, DP, Munich, Germany, Jersey City, Rantoul, Illinois, Las Islas Canarias. Have we ever had the Canary Islands before? Puerto Rico, Duval. Amanda Landers here to learn. Thank you for telling me where you're watching from. Have we had the Canary Islands before? I think we have, because I feel like I had to look for them. Right? I feel like I had to look for the Canary Islands because I should know where they are, and I don't. I don't know where they are. I don't know, Rolando. I feel like, what was this over here? Is this Guam? Where the Canary Islands? Oh my God, I done dropped the pen. Where's the Canary Islands? Are they by the Cook Islands? Oh, they next to Morocco. Shit, I'm not even close. Okay, hold on. Okay, we have had the Canary Islands before. Yes, look at that pen right there. So shout out to our worldwide Amanda Landers. I appreciate y'all. Let's get into our word of the day. The word of the day is resuscitate. Resuscitate. Okay? Resuscitate. RUSUSCITATE. Resuscitate. It's a verb meaning to revive and bring back. Resuscitate. I know a lot of people feel like this win in New York will resuscitate the energies of the populace. Let's get some sentences here. Resuscitate. RESUSCITATE. It is a verb. Let's jump it off with Miss Angelica Ross. We will not be able to resuscitate Dick Cheney. That is correct. Sarah Tibbet says we need to resuscitate our government. I disagree. I think we need to just let it go. And Lester says Miss Seals has no interest to resuscitate this democracy because it was never alive. It was never a democracy. Spicy Pickle. I hate pickles, but I'm sure you're cool. Trump needs to resuscitate the government. It died ever since he entered. Oh, baby, the government died long before Trump entered, honey. That's how he got there. Emma said, Mamdani winning will resuscitate the socialist movement. I think that is a very bold statement to make, considering he is not a socialist. He is a democratic socialist, which means he's still a Democrat. Okay. Rishla, I'm so over the nursing team who keeps resuscitating Trump after all these. Y'all This was a rough word for y'all. There we go, Libby. Will we resuscitate literacy? Can we do that? Can we resuscitate liberty? Listen, I just want to call things what they are. I am a linguist. So words matter to me. I just want to call things what they are. It really matters. It matters. That's why everyone be like, are we like girlfriend and boyfriend? Or because labels do be meaning something. Sometimes they are deeply problematic, but sometimes they are very important clarifiers. All right. Are y'all ready for us to get into, this would normally be our 60-second headline segment, but we actually are not doing 60-second headlines today because I don't feel like talking about politics ad nauseum and being amongst those who are, So we're going to have 2 level us up guests today. Boom. Amanda Land.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. How are you?
I'm well. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm pretty good.
Say more.
Didn't you hear the Democrats won, so we're all saved.
Oh,
Everything's good now. Everything's good. We're good.
Didn't you hear that I'm a hater for not thinking that? Yeah, someone said I am a hater and someone said some wild shit earlier. You were on, but I don't know if you were listening. Listen, Jesse.
No, I mean, I'm partially, we can
be hopeful.
I'm happy. Yeah, of course.
It's better than.
Of course.
So we acknowledge that, but I don't like. That's not driving me today.
Right. Yep. We'll
this
see.
Mets hat with the MTA logo, peak New York.
Yeah,
just
like
real.
Yeah, I know. It really is.
It's peak New York. These are the moments that I appreciate when I'm like, I don't know about you, but I feel like just a special level of appreciation for myself that I know New York. Like when I can give people directions, I feel like you're special. Like knowing this city means something.
Yeah, it really does. It's funny, even though New York, I hate so much of what parts of it have become, it's still New York. Like it's so big and awesome and weird and also infuriating and crazy.
Correct.
And like a fucking capitalist Disneyland in half of it. But then it's also, I don't know, I still love it. I'll always love it. I mean, I lived there for a long time. Now I live a bit north of there, and I totally agree with like the subways. That's a point of pride for sure. Yeah. It is.
This is a point of pride.
Yup.
Just take us there. Because when I opened it, I just assumed it was going to be like essays or, because you be talking and you be making sense and you're smart and you have, courage and you have character. So I just was expecting, like the thoughts of Jesse Mechanic in the Times. Right. And then you were like, gotcha, bitch. It's actually all illustrations.
Yeah.
Which explains this shirt. Because only an artsy dude.
I do. It's so funny. I saw this. So I'll tell you this story. My wife would be laughing so hard that you brought up this shirt. So I was obsessed with this shirt. This little boutique in Beacon, right near where I live, had it like in the window. And it's like a handmade thing. It's like, where are they? I forgot. And I wanted it, and I would never go in because I'm like, it's probably expensive and I'm not going to be able to afford. But it wasn't that expensive, and it's like my favorite piece of clothing. I went in and bought it, and I try to take very good care of it because I love it so much.
I'm so glad that I could see that in it.
Yeah, it's just cool. It has such cool details.
It does, and that's the same as this book. Like,
thanks.
I was so Like I immediately was like, oh my God, because so my book is coming out on Sunday on what is time?
Time is a flat circle.
What is time?
Um,
So my book is coming out on Saturday and I did illustrations in it as well.
oh, I can't wait to see.
And I feel like that's part, like when you do the type of commentary that folks that you and I do, like that becomes like very background noise for folks.
Yeah.
Because we're on a video medium, you know, but we don't really necessarily lean into that. And so before we even get into the actual content of this book, can you just tell me what made you say this is the way this is the direction I want to go? I want it to be visual art.
Yeah. I had written several different iterations of the story. You know, the story it's about grief and loss, but it's basically my story of when my mom got sick and died when I was a kid. And I had written it because, you know, I mostly worked as a journalist. I'm not a professional illustrator.
Yes,
but I got to a point in the writing where I loved where it was, but I knew I had like another level that I wanted to get to fully express what these feelings felt like. I knew that it was that I like hit a limit with the prose, and I knew that if it had illustrations, it could reach another level. And I met with some artists and they were incredible. But what I realized pretty soon after meeting with them is that all of these images were like locked and fully detailed in my head. And there's no way that I could describe it to them adequately enough where they could do the drawings. So since I had always grown up drawing and loved drawing, but like, you know, a lot of times we get older and we kind of stop drawing if you're not doing it. Kids draw all the time, but for some reason, a lot of adults stop, you know, creating visual art in that way. So I was like, well, you know what? I used to be good at drawing. Let me try to do these illustrations. And then as soon as I started to try, they all just came pouring out. It was a crazy, like, artistic flow experience where I was like, oh, all of these images were sitting in my head just waiting for me to start drawing them. I mean, I had a draft of like 140 illustrations in like a month or something. It was insane. It was wild.
I cannot express to you how dope this is. I don't even, maybe I have to draw a picture.
Yeah. That would fit.
Because there's something really special about using art to get points across in this format, right? Because it's kind of like graphic novelish in a way.
Yeah.
But like I don't have to read the words and I'm moved.
Good. Yeah.
You feel me? Like, so I had texted Jesse yesterday and was like, I'm going to dive into this, but because I need to read the words and I read really slow. However, I didn't even need to read the words to understand. And
Right.
which I'm getting is the purpose. Like, that's what made you say I got to do the drawings.
Totally. And it's funny because after I did the drawings, I then went through and cut out a lot of words.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is redundant now. Let's just really try to get it down to the bare bones. Yeah.
Like, even
There
stuff
she
like
is.
this image right here, you know, like, I don't even know what you're talking about yet, but but I think all of us look at this and feel some type of way.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because some of the pages, I didn't have an idea. You know, it's not like I did little footnotes on what all the illustrations would be. Yeah, I love that sequence. But then sometimes I'd get to the page and then just say, you know, this kind of abstract visual representation is to me what it feels like. And then just draw that, and it just kind of worked out.
How long was this in the works?
It was in the works. So if we're talking from like the first time that I did a draft without the illustrations is probably like 6 or 7 years. Since I did the illustrations, probably 2 years or so.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it was the publishing industry. I know, like, you've published through a traditional publisher. Now this one you're doing yourself, right?
Yeah, because I'm just over it. I'm over
it's
everything in
insane.
general. You should know that. I'm just over everything.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, so I pitched this around to agents and publishers a few years ago. Some people really liked it, but they were like, well, they just care if they're going to make money off it
Yeah.
or not. So they're like, well, I don't know. The length might be tough to market because it's not really that long, but it's not.
So that's
super
why I ended up buying
short.
my book back. That was one
Yeah.
of the main reasons, because I had signed a contract for a 75,000 word book, but I wrote 150,000 words. And they were like, yeah, you need to cut 75,000 of the words in 4 days.
That's crazy. Half?
And
That's
then my
nuts.
editor's edits. So then I'm like scrambling and I'm looking for my editor's edits to like apply. And then I'm looking at her edits and it's like, oh, you're a Zionist. And you don't like me. That's a double whammy. And so
totally. And it's funny you say that, because when I pitched this book and another book that I have coming out in January.
You better have multiple books coming out.
Yeah, the other one you'll like too. Here, I just got a copy of it. It's called "Don't Be a Fucking Marshmallow: An Illustrated Guide to Revolution," and it's coming out by Interlink Press, which is the Palestinian-owned, only Palestinian-owned.
Awesome! Yes.
Yeah, so that was cool. But I say all that to say, both of those books were rejected, this one and that one, by a whole bunch of people. And there were a few that were interested, and it seemed like it was going somewhere. And then it seemed like once they dove into my journalism and saw how I covered specific topics, namely Palestine, it was like radio silence after that. Now, I don't know for sure.
Of course.
No one was like, well, it was because of this. Because, this was in 2021 when I pitched these. So actually, yeah. So I had illustrations back then. So with COVID, my perception of years is so fucked. It's insane.
Someone said to me they saw me do stand-up last year, and I was like, okay. And then I was like, oh wait, I did do stand-up last year.
I know. It's insane. But what's interesting is then, October 7th happened. I was writing about it and speaking out about it again. And then my wife randomly was like, hey, now you have this like Instagram following. Why don't you just see if like any independent publishers follow you or any agents, just put it out there with these books again. I did. And then it was like a whole bunch I had to like decide for each book who, and they were all cool, like radical, interesting indie publishers that I actually wanted to work with. They were not big corporate publishers.
Yeah.
They believed in the books. So anyway, I say all that to say, sometimes it's good to stick to your guns, because I think both of these books are way better where they ended up than where they might have if, a big publisher took it on in 2021 or whatever.
What do you like about working with a publisher?
Well, these are both very small publishers. The Street Noise Books put out The Last Time We Spoke, the book that you have, and they are just a small, independent, mostly graphic novel, almost entirely graphic novel publisher based in Brooklyn. And I like working with her. Liz is the owner, and I had a great editor, Jisoo Kim, because I just loved when I met with them. They really believed in it. They loved it. They got, similar to how you're saying, it resonated with them. And then they had some great ideas on how to improve it.
Right.
And they were ones that I totally agreed with. And
do you remember any of them?
Yes. Well, one was that they wanted the earlier draft. I feel like I was still holding back a little bit on like personal struggles, not diving into the mental health struggles quite as much, and not telling the audience like how it felt in certain things. I would just kind of say what happened.
Yes.
And the editor was great, where they would be like, but tell us like what you were feeling. Do you remember Um, and that really helped. And I really think they made the book better.
For you guys, for
Um,
y'all who are listening, like that is the only purpose of an editor in my mind. The only purpose of an editor is for them to make you tap into parts of your greatness, you know, your artistry, your brain, your experience that you may be hiding from, or you may not think anyone cares about, right? Because that's a lot of the times the thing too. You're like, oh, I didn't know anyone would want to know that. And
exactly. I know. Yeah, I think I initially wanted it to be like, well, this is about grief. And they were like, yeah, it is. It's about you going through it. I think I wanted to like decenter myself a little bit, but they're like, it's about you. You know, it's about you as a kid and what it felt like. So yeah, a great editor can help tremendously, but
1,000.
a bad one.
So I experienced a great editor and a bad editor in the same editor.
Oh, wow.
So when I did my first book, Small Doses, where I have a lot of illustrations, she was magnificent, to be honest. Like, she was really dope because she helped me as a first-time writer of like such a long project. She helped me to, like you're talking about, like trim the fat, but then like know when to like add more. And then also like with the process of how, because the other thing a lot of folks don't know about is the process of book publishing is very willy-nilly. Like it's
crazy.
It's crazy. Like sometimes they're like, we need it in 6 weeks. Sometimes they're like, okay, so it'll be 2 years.
Yeah.
You know, like and depending on where you're publishing, these timelines are different. A smaller place has the ability to do things faster. A bigger place, you're fitting into like their marketing vision of capitalism. So like I was on Abrams, which is a smaller place for Small Doses. And then my editor went to Simon and Schuster. And so she was like, you know, I want you to come over here. And so I pitched a couple books, but I never, if I'm being real, I wasn't really into them. I was just like, whatever. And then I was like, no, it's memoir time. I'll write a midlife memoir. And it was interesting to see how her editing had shifted. She made me a better writer in Small Doses. 1,000%. She made me a better writer. She helped me. I'm the opposite, where you were like not explaining. I was over explaining. It was like, Amanda, what are you saying? And then in this book though, and I'm giving this advice to people because I know a lot of people want to make things and they're not sure who to listen to. Yeah. I feel like if you have somebody who is question my artistic choices. I don't know if question is the right word, but like, I like being asked with curiosity, like, why are we doing this? Right? Because then you get the opportunity to explain, and it's not being asked in like doubt. It's being asked in curiosity as like a partnership versus this editor literally started questioning my life choices. Really? One of the notes was, it feels like you're blaming your ex. Okay.
Maybe I am. Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know, it depends on what the book is and if the editor is a good fit for that.
It depends. I think people change.
That too. That's definitely true.
Think about how much the world has shifted from 2018, when I started Small Doses, to now.
It's like almost unfathomable to think about how much it's changed. It's really wild.
How many people have you lost friendships? Have you lost connections to family in that time?
Sure. Yeah.
He's like, that's it.
I mean, my God. Jeez,
because you're Jewish.
Yeah, I am. Yeah. I mean, well, that's an interesting, like, I'm sure that there are people who I'm like, a lot of people who I was peripherally acquainted with who like want nothing to do with me anymore. But honestly, I've been very lucky in that most of the people close to me, they might not completely agree with everything, but I don't have anyone who's like extremely on the other side by any significant degree. I have a few people that were more and are not anymore, which is fascinating too. And it's been a tough thing for me to have patience with some people. But you know, I've been doing this like work for a while in many different areas, and like if you want to build movements and get people behind stuff, you do have to try to bring people in and have a little patience. But it's easier said than done sometimes.
I'm
But
worn out.
oh no, I get that, and I mean, yeah,
I'll be back, but I'm worn
I
out
am
today.
too. I am too.
And by the way, I just noticed that the underside of the collar is pink.
Yeah, it's cool.
Look at that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. You know, you try to, especially when people are making a genuine effort with stuff, you try to be patient. I don't know, but there's definitely been, you know, like if we're talking in terms of like Palestine, the people who were just like, oh, like when the starvation started to get extreme, they were like, all right, enough is enough, and then they flipped the switch. I was like, okay, this is good, but also like they were blowing up tens of thousands of children, and you just like didn't care at all about that. It's just, and one thing that annoyed me is the people who clearly didn't like it and wanted to speak out but were too cowardly, because I could tell from some people that they were like specifically being silent until it kind of reached a point, yeah, when more mainstream people were, and then they were like, okay, now it's safe. And that annoyed me. Even though I should be like, well, it's good.
I think so. I think you can do both. I think you can
do both. You can do both.
You'll go
You're
crazy
right.
if you don't do both. Because
you're right.
They're real, genuine feelings. Like, and you know, we're humans, we're complex. I can be like, glad you got here, but also different route.
Yeah, and it's also like next time when there's something else like this,
exactly. You don't
make the brave choice. Don't just don't be sitting there like, oh, I don't know. And listen, I understand. Like, I'm not even talking about, you know, I do think some people have gotten into the habit of they view like all activism through social media.
Go ahead, keep going.
And like they're like, oh, well, this person didn't speak out on this thing, and I'm like, well, that person doesn't really post online, but I've seen them like at protests and organizing mutual aids. So like maybe we shouldn't just be like, well, this person didn't post on Instagram, so they're not part of the movement. Like there's a real movement outside of the internet too. And some people who are like the most vocal on Instagram or wherever haven't done anything outside of that.
No.
So it's like, it's cool. Like I wish more people would speak up, of course, and social media is important, but also I just see some people like their whole thing is just calling people out because they didn't speak out. And I'm like, you don't know this person. You're just judging their online thing. And I get it. I totally get it. If it's someone who like, that's what they post about, human rights and stuff.
Yes.
And politics, and they post all the time, then like of course.
Noah. Like Trevor Noah made an entire career out of being a person who's supposed to be explaining the truth translator. Right. And then he just was radio silent.
He was like radio silent about it?
And he grew up in South African apartheid.
That's wild.
He said like a couple things when Ta-Nehisi Coates was on his show, but that was like a year and a half in, you know, like it's just a very, like to me, to your point, it's different if that's your jazz and then you put the instrument down.
Oh, then you should be called out relentlessly, for sure. I mean, that's ridiculous. I mean, I've definitely lost respect for tons of people.
Same.
Like I was looking at people and I was like, if you're really gonna ignore this, like I have no respect for the way you synthesize political information and put it out into the world.
Agreed.
Anymore. I just don't.
As a Black person in the United States, I watched this happen in a really deleterious way because it also meant that you can't hold like Kamala Harris or Hakeem Jeffries or Cory Booker to account for Palestine without there being some type of like counterproductive but without it being attacked as like a counterproductive measure to like Black liberation in the United States. And so that became like this whole other layer where it was like, not only are these people quiet, but you need to allow them to be quiet, because if you don't, then you're the problem. And it's like, that's weird to me.
That is weird. I got a bunch of that too for criticizing Booker and Kamala and all of that. And it's like, this has nothing. First of all, Cory Booker and Kamala Harris are not for Black liberation. They're Black people. But in what way? In what way are they? Kamala posted yesterday this glowing obituary to Dick Cheney. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
please,
Cory Booker can talk for a long time about a whole bunch of things and then, vote to drop bombs on Gaza and be, posing with Netanyahu and whatever.
And he voted for Jared Kushner's dad.
Yeah, right.
Who's not even an ex-con. He's a con. Like, he was pardoned.
Yeah, he is.
He was pardoned by a con man. That's a double con. So, I feel like and I'm somebody who does a lot that I don't put on Instagram. Like, it's always weird to me. So like I'm working with this church around my way to do a turkey drive. And my homegirl was like, why isn't your face on the poster? And I was on the flyer and I was like, I mean, why? It's for turkeys. And she was like, put your face on the freaking flyer. So I was like, okay, fine. So I do. And then everyone who I had sent the flyer to, I sent them another updated copy with the version with my face. And because at that point, I'd only sent it to like 6 people. Do you know every single one of them was like, oh, much better. Much better. And I was like, really? And so people will often say, Amanda Seales doesn't do anything but sit up here on this internet. But also, by the way, y'all, there's a lot of other time in the day. This is the turkey flyer. Yay, turkeys.
Oh, nice. Oh, great.
I'm just peeking in. Hey, y'all, send some turkeys.
That's great.
But there's a lot of time in the day. And I just feel like it's weird to... I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't advertise the things that I do. And people are like, well, so someone who's very close in my circle recently said, I understand why you don't. However, you're in a space that requires that. So is it counterproductive for you to be in that space and not doing the thing? Or are you preserving yourself in that space? And I haven't come up with an answer.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, that's tough.
It feels weird to me to tell y'all every time I do, because I do all the time. So it feels weird to me to be like, guess what? Like,
totally. I know, it almost feels like it cheapens it to like, but I understand the other side too. Like, it's good to get yourself out there like that and raise awareness and show people that you're doing that stuff. Yeah.
And then maybe you inspire. I mean, it's a kind of damned if you don't, damned if you don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'll let you know what I come up with. You'll start to see posts. And you'll be like, well, I guess she decided.
Yeah.
So you have people in the chat. They're like, do it, and I'm just like, I'm uncomfortable every time. Because sometimes you do stuff with other folks and like they'll post about it. And then, they're like, can you collab? And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
So tell me about, with this project, by the end of it, how were you different than where you started?
Yeah, good question. Man, there were a lot of moments throughout the book that were there were even moments where, and it only happened really with drawing, not with the writing portion, where as
Interesting.
I would be drawing something, it would kind of unlock a memory that was hidden somewhere.
Mm.
Because uh my mom got sick when I was 12. She passed away when I was 14. So like if you think back,
That's a
you don't remember that much, like in great detail, of when you were 12. You remember kind of
flashes.
shape. Yeah, exactly. You don't have defined memories, but during the process, a bunch of them came back. And then there were also interesting moments where, as I would be drawing a page, I would be into the drawing of it and trying to make it look good. And then when it was done, I would look at it and have like a very emotional reaction, especially like there's a few pages where I draw my mom, based on photographs and stuff that I had. And then after, tweaking it and being like, the nose, that, because you're into like the nitty gritty of getting it right. And then I would be done and look at it and be like, whoa, that hits hard. And it was also interesting because throughout the process, I became a parent, and I write about it a bit towards the end, and that shifted kind of the entire grief experience, because then I saw it more. Because even though I, of course, felt horrible for my mother for having to have gone through all that, you're still a kid and you center yourself in that.
Yeah,
You can't help but do that. But then when you grow up and become a parent and care for your kids this much, then you kind of experience it again, where you're like, oh my God, that must have been so devastating for her
as a
to
parent,
go
right?
through.
So now
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. So that was tough, and still is tough. I mean, I think about it all the time. Like, because my sister's younger than me. She was only 6 when my mom passed away. So, and like my daughter just turned 6. So it's like, oof. So that stuff is tough. So basically,
Are you in therapy?
Yeah, well,
Okay.
not currently, but have been, and
But
will
you
be
drop
again.
in. Yeah.
Yeah, will be again.
Fair,
Yeah, for sure.
fair.
Yeah, but the book was definitely a therapeutic exercise and an interesting exploration of grief. And I write in there a bit about like OCD and really bad intrusive thoughts that I had for years following it, and still have. They still pop up. But writing about them, and it's funny because that's the part of the book. I have like this squiggly kind of monster person that,
I saw him.
yeah,
Look, I opened
right.
right to the page.
Amazing. Yeah, so that guy kind of personifies this like horrible voice in my head.
It says, "Hey, dipshit."
Yeah. You'd like it too. A few pages later, me and the horrible doppelganger in my head bond over Wu-Tang. And there's a little sign that says, I bomb atomically, and it's like him and I thinking of the same thing. So that's another part of the book, like how art and music and all that stuff really helped me get through all of that. So yeah, it was an interesting, cathartic experience. And it also taught me to just like getting it done and getting it published, and the fact that it's resonating and people like it was also affirming, where it's like, because I put it out there and no one really wanted it initially. And it's nice, like, because you were speaking earlier about sometimes an editor will make things better. And sometimes you kind of have to stick to your guns if you like something and you want it to be the way it is. And I wanted this to be like this, and it came out like that, and it felt good. So it was also a bit reaffirming to stick to your guns in that way.
Did this thought just left my mind. Do you have any particular drawings in here that like, because we always have like our favorite, like our one.
It switches.
Okay, so what's it today?
What's my favorite today? I mean, the first one that I loved was this drawing of my mom with all these flowers around her.
Mm-hmm.
Because that one took me a long time, because I am not someone who can like look at someone's face and draw it.
Same.
Like it takes me effort. I could do it more as like a cartoon.
Yeah.
thing. But this was more of like a
A
realistic
portrait.
drawing, and it's an important one, so I wanted it to look good. So that one I spent a long time on. And then there's this other one that I love because it has a lot of detail where it's my dad. Yeah. Well, no, that's a different one.
Okay.
There's an earlier one. That's like the one when she was sick, but there's one when she was healthy, probably like page 30 or something.
Because I see the one with your dad and the flowers too, and the yellow sports Walkman. Or is that you?
Yes.
Oh, that's you. That's you.
Yeah,
yellow,
that's me.
Y'all, the yellow Sony Sports Walkman was
was
really the shit. Like,
it's funny because I loved like just taking a picture of that and putting it and then drawing it. I actually love doing that. Like I love drawing objects. Yes, that one. That one. Yeah, that one took me a long time, and I drew all the flowers, and yeah, and then
wow.
there's this other one where it's of my dad telling me that my mom isn't going to make it, and it's like this picture of us, and then it's a version of me falling, and then I made it all like an engagement ring, and it has like my dad proposing on one side and then being alone on the other side. There's like a lot of detail to it. It's probably shortly after the flower page. It's like alone on its own page, and that one.
Did you know that your brain was like this before
What do
you
you
sat
mean?
down?
Oh,
because this is some other shit, Jesse. Like this is.
you mean did I know like all this wild art would come out?
Wild art is very generous. I mean, it's like, very generic. Like this is, like you just described your dad telling you about your mom not making it and you falling into an engagement ring. Like I'm just like that.
Yeah.
That is a,
Yeah.
that's so nonlinear. And so my question is like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, did you see the images in your mind first?
Sometimes. And sometimes I would be drawing them and they would just evolve in a certain way. Like I think with that one,
there's such a level of freedom that you have to allow yourself to do that. Would you agree?
definitely. Definitely. Yeah.
I guess
love
that's what I mean to say. Were you always like that? Were you always in a space where you would let yourself be free enough to just go with it?
No, probably not always. This was a time where I really did let it fly more than others, for sure. Yeah, there it is.
Socrates'
Yeah.
philosophies and hypotheses can't define how I be dropping these mockeries, lyrically perform armed robbery. Okay.
To me, that's like a sign. It's funny because I did an event with do you know Joel Leone, the writer? He's great. I did an event with him in Brooklyn for the book, and he brought up that verse, and we were just talking about that verse and how like everyone who knows that verse, like beginning to end. It's funny if it came up.
It's a thing. It's a thing.
Oh,
like,
totally.
You know?
Yeah.
I was leaving the YMCA the other day, and this brother was coming in, and he had on a Wu-Tang hoodie, and I was like, "Sue!" And he was like, "Hold on," and he like adjusted the things he was carrying so he could be like.
That's sick. I love it. I love it.
Well, where can people go? I mean, it's in all book places, right? So it's where would you prefer? Do you have a preference?
With that book, I've been directing people towards bookshop.org.
Okay.
Or, your local bookshop, tell them to order it. That's probably my favorite.
Got it.
And look out for, this one.
So that was going to be my next question about this one. So this is also in the graphic novel style?
It is. Yeah. So what this book is it's like, I realize that a lot of people like to share quotes, but don't really know what the people who said the quotes did, or don't really examine what the quotes mean.
That is
so in this book, I was like, well, I'm going to use quotes from like Dolores Huerta, James Baldwin, Fannie Lou Hamer, Edward Said, Chomsky, all these people.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to be like, this is what they said. Like, this is what they mean. This is what they did, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that was kind of the impetus behind the whole idea for it. So that's kind of how it goes. And it's basically just, don't be a marshmallow is a quote from Dolores Huerta, the famous labor activist, when she was basically like, I think it's don't be a marshmallow, get off the sidewalk, walk the street with us into history. And it's about like, her and Chavez like really caused a massive disruption with their grape boycott. And so I write about that. And then they changed lives. Like they had a collective bargaining agreement for migrant farm workers and all that. And, Fannie Lou Hamer said a lot of incredible things and fought an unbelievable amount of violence towards her and changed the way delegates were chosen. And some of the other parts are just like, this thinker said this, so here's how you could apply this now. Or I have like a chapter on, the Black Panthers, how I'm like, you could, like what we were talking about, you can think local. You can help people. Like the Black Panthers are being hunted by COINTELPRO, and they were still able to do the free breakfast for children and the free healthcare during all that. So like you can help people and make a difference despite the insanity that's going on. So, and yes, and it's illustrations. It's similar to that one.
Well,
it's
that is
not,
what I was going to ask. Do you feel, well, first of all, you are now a professional illustrator.
I guess so. Yeah.
Do you feel like this is the medium for you in writing books?
I don't know. I'm sure I will always probably put out these types of books, but it's interesting. I have like this, and it's funny. I was just going back and I was on your Small Doses podcast a while ago.
It was literally like Side Effects of Being a White Boy, isn't it? Something like that.
Yeah, being like
a good white man, a woke white guy.
Something like that. Yeah, so funny. But yeah, then I spoke about a book that I've been working on for so many years, which is like this long, wild novel. It's super long, and I initially pitched that. And people were like, this is cool, but like, it's 500 pages. So like,
it's giving like, Russian. It's giving.
Yeah. And they're like, they're like, nobody's going to publish like your first novel at 500 pages. But what's interesting about it is I had always wanted that book because it goes through these multiple storylines. And one of them's like a sci-fi space story. There's a lot of like political allegory. It's a super ambitious, hopefully it'll be on shelves eventually, but what I wanted.
It's a sci-fi space story. You had me there.
I know. Yeah. So what I wanted was this, maybe even 2 long books where part is regular prose and then another is kind of like a comic and you're going through it and it rotates. But the thing is, like, I can do this type of illustrating. But what I did realize, and this is important to know our limitations too, I can't do like a full comic with like action and people moving and fighting. Like that takes a lot of training and just, my brain doesn't work that way. However, I did find an artist, and this is interesting because this can happen too. He read the book and he's like, I'm just going to sketch out some of like these creatures and some of the things that you would want in comic form and see what you think. And with that book, I was like, oh, he not only nailed what was in my head, he actually made it better. So like with these kind of really super personal books, maybe I will continue to illustrate them.
Got them.
But some other ones, but yes, long-winded answer to your question, I do love having a visual component in the books. I say that because
I feel like we're in such a time of change and shift. And one of the things that has changed and shifted is people's ability to really take in information, particularly dense concepts. And so like in transforming my one woman show to the text, I realized that I feel like my book, What Would the Ancestors Say, reads like a high vibrational Instagram scroll because the content is very compact. Like it's very like the things that I'm talking about are presented to you in a dense fashion, but over the course of many different formats. So you get a monologue, you get a lecture, you get like something that looks like written stand-up, you get dialogue, you get poetry. So I feel like it feels like you're scrolling because we get these videos that are like 3 minutes of just straight to your neck socialism, right? And then you're on to the next video and it's like someone dancing to
it's true.
whatever.
No,
And that's
totally
how people
agree.
take in information these days. So I'm excited to see more work. I love your art. And I love your point of view. So to see it in art is great.
Likewise.
And everybody get your local bookshop to order Jesse Mechanic's book, The Last Time We Spoke, A Story of Loss. And, I just think it's also coming out at such a great time where there is no more struggle or strife in the world because now everybody can own it, right?
It's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Look at you. Look
at me. Look at us. Oh, man.
Thank you, Jesse. And I'm serious. I am going to come up and visit you. You think I was playing, but I'm not.
Please do. Please do.
And we're going to go to that store and see if they have any more of those shirts.
They have a lot of cool stuff that I also want to buy. I walked by the other day.
I love it. Y'all give it up. Actually, there was a question before we go. There was a question. Mr. Mechanic, any children's books plans?
Yeah, fantastic question. And I would love to do a children's book. And my wife is a special education teacher, and I would love to do one with her because I feel like I could come up with like a broad idea and she could make it great. And then I could do the illustrations. That's a great question. I would love to do a children's book.
Well, I am starting a children's show next at the top of the year called Ra-Ra's Radical Readers. Ra-Ra's Radical Readers. And every episode, Ra-Ra will do a book report about a children's book that she considers radical. And she will also sing a song that she will compose. And she will also speak to the creators of these books.
Oh, that's awesome. Wow.
So it's like a Reading Rainbow, but like with teeth.
That'll be great. That'll be awesome.
I can't wait. In the sky. So, Jesse, stay up and stay drawing. Happy to talk to you. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah! Isn't this a welcome change from whatever else is talking about today? Isn't this a welcome change? I just wanted to give y'all something different. Okay. Because there's so much that is just the same today. So I wanted to give y'all just something different. Reminder for everyone who is just joining us, it is 11:23 a.m. Eastern. You are here at Views from Amanda Land. Thank you for waking up on the right side of history. I will be in San Diego tomorrow with my book, What Would the Ancestors Say? Looking forward to seeing you all there, doing a book reading and signing and liberated dialogue, all the things. It's going to be a beautiful gathering. And then, of course, this weekend, you will be able to watch the live stream performance of What Would the Ancestors Say? This is a new staging and this is a new concept. Like, you guys have seen it being developed over time, but this is the final, like, dun, da, da, da. And this is the 2025 edition. And I say that because it's the type of work that I want to be able to come back to in the future and update based on the times. So if you have not gotten your tickets, please go to amandaseals.com. They are still available as standalone tickets or as bundles where you can get a ticket and a signed copy of the book. And shout out to everybody who will be at the LA show. I will see you there. So we have our next guest. We have our next guest coming up in a little bit, but I also want to take a moment to just say that, we did air the last episode of Small Doses Podcast last week. Yeah. So Small Doses Podcast did 7 years. Not even, it's 8 years. Small Doses Podcast did 8 years. And I'm so proud of the work that I did on that podcast. And you will be able to access the catalog forever. However, the feed will look different moving forward. It will say Smart, Funny, and Black Productions, and you'll be able to get content. So basically what I'm asking you to do is, like, don't unsubscribe from the feed. I will continue to give you dopeness via the RSS feed that you are subscribed to. So you will get What Would the Ancestors Say? I'm gonna upload the book talks that I'm able to get good enough audio from. So I will upload those. You'll also be able to get views from Amandaland. And I did a series of conversations with folks on Instagram Live around the concept of what would your ancestors say? And so I'm looking to also cut those up and spice them up a bit and put them up. So, it'll continue to be a content source for audio content that I am making that I feel will continue to, facilitate thought and ideas and inner peace, inner rage, all the things. So all of that is going to continue to be in the future of the work that I'm doing. And again, the past work will also be available. So thank you to everyone who has been a faithful listener, subscriber, downloader to Small Doses Podcast over the past few years. You are much appreciated. Centel, I will continue the Instagram lives. I think it's a really beautiful thing. For me right now, it just becomes like, how do I do stuff in a way that isn't like tying me down? Because I just feel the need to be very free and loose. And I do this consistently because I understand the necessity to also have certain places that you can come to. So shout out to everybody who is with us today. If you're wondering, why isn't she talking about Mom Donnie? Because everybody is talking about that. And I wanted to be able to give you all something different and also give myself something different. Like, the political analysis of it all just ends up being very redundant at a certain point. It just becomes kind of like an exercise in existing. This happened, so now we got to talk about it. And I'll talk more in my PSA about where my head really is. However, what I'm really excited about is about What Would the Ancestors Say? I'm going out into the world for the first time since last year, since I was on tour. And I'm always reminded of the uniqueness of I have a certain kind of courage that is being tested. And I'm very, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm very calm in that testing. I think it's really interesting when people say things to me, resilient. That's the word, Lester. I feel like I'm actually, so let me just correct this. I'm not being tested in my courage. I'm being tested in my resoluteness. That's what it is. There it is, Sonia. In my resoluteness. And I think that's a thing that many of us are going to have to really be, that many of us are going to be tested in, because there's going to be a lot of hoopla and a lot of rah-rah that can move you. And I was speaking to Mark Wayne, and I will share the link of our Colonial Outcast episode. And I was really appreciative of what he said. He said, Amanda, you're an anchor. And I said, well, what do you mean? And he was like, you're an anchor because, you're always solid. And the fact of the matter is, people get very bothered with me about me being the same type. I'm always the same type of person. And they'd be like, why aren't you switching up for this? And the truth of the matter is that I shouldn't have to switch up the person I am. the scenario, the energy, the universe switches up and I respond. Okay? So I'm going to respond to that which is real and that which is naturally calling for my response. I shouldn't have to cook it up because I'm present. So take that. Okay. Take that. And take that with you, because I know some of y'all feel that way too. You're going to show up places today and they're going to be like, oh my God. And you may feel like you have to do whatever, and just show up as yourself. Show up as yourself and let that be. And I really feel like folks don't understand that that is enough. Okay? It truly is. And we got somebody on here who's going to reinforce that, because that's just the type of gal that she is. And hold on, because I'm trying to do something that's not working. Okay, hold on 1 second. And we are going to get into our second level us up. See how I love y'all? We got leveled up twice today. So that means that we started here and we went here. And now we're about to go here. All right. It's crazy, y'all. Amanda Land. We up. Hello.
Hi. Good morning.
Wagwan.
It's a sunny day in the Crescent City.
It is. It's a sunny day in the Crescent City. It's a sunny day in New York. It started out gray, but the sun came out. Any thoughts?
Lots of thoughts.
So first, let me tell y'all, this is Dana Lynn Knuckles. This is the People's Oracle. Dana describes herself as a host and diviner of divination, host and diviner of the Divination for Liberation podcast, also a therapeutic coaching coach, and she does book readings and therapeutic coaching. And we are going to talk about the 9th annual edition of the 2026 Sidereal Astrology Guide. So you also are going to have to tell people about what sidereal astrology is for those who did not listen to your episode of Small Doses. But first, any thoughts?
Do not give a Democrat your money. They are going to be on your line today. They are going to be texting you. They're going to be emailing you. And they're going to be like, please, see, give me money, please.
Wait, you mean the same Democrats that?
Mm.
You mean the same Democrats that wasn't even endorsing Buddy?
Absolutely.
You mean them-dems?
Listen, this is all so lovely to me because our paths crossed, right? Because of a post that I made talking about how basically the Democrats are controlled opposition, right? They function to take all of our revolutionary sentiment, our radical disposition, our excitement for change, and they siphon it like vampires and transform it into fundraising requests. And then you give them your money and you're like, wow, look at me. I'm an activist. I have changed the world because I gave Cory Booker money. Black Lives Matter because I gave Kamala Harris money, right? And so furthermore, it should be solidified at this point that the Democratic Party is a fundraising organization whose sole function is to fundraise. Right?
Ba-dum-bum.
Do not give them your money.
So just so we're clear, we are also referring to the Democrats who eulogized Dick Cheney.
and told us that we were mean for cracking jokes about Charlie Kirk's death.
Are we also talking about the Democrat who became an independent because they lost the Democratic vote and then was endorsed by Donald Trump? I wanted to make sure.
I mean, it's so wild because like we have to make these clarifications and distinctions because someone's going to be like, not all Democrats, baby. Here's the thing. In order to get like an endorsement from the Democratic Party, it has nothing to do with your policies and everything to do with, are you good at raising money? That's how you become a darling of the Democratic Party. That's how you get their support, their vote. They tolerated Kamala Harris because she bought $1 billion.
That we don't know.
Y'all spent all of that money. What do you have to show for it? Don't spend another dime. Working Families Party, the actual party who endorsed and supported Mamdani in New York, is having a call tonight. So if you need a political organization to get behind, it's a place to start.
They still Dems, baby. They still Dems. We had Maurice on here. We had him on here. Because ultimately, there's the catch-22 that a lot of folks feel, which is, well, we have the system that's currently in place, and so we have to like do the dance with the system that's in place in order to do anything about the problems that are currently in place.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Who am I to argue? However, I feel like that is rhetoric I hear all the time that ignores, that doesn't include, and this is what happened when we didn't do that. Right? So I'm like, okay, but have you done it without doing that? What was the outcome? And it's never like, well, we are doing this because when we did this other thing, it didn't work. And that's the thing that for me.
The other thing.
Right. Well, the other thing, yeah, like I'm just like, we have seen the other thing work because we know that grassroots organizing is literally
that. I mean,
so leading with. So I guess what I'm saying is, I feel like we started going top down instead of bottom up.
Right, and I think that like this is actually a really like interesting moment to be having this conversation about which approach works in general, particularly because the one thing that's almost always missing from the conversation is this thing of building parallel economic structures, right? Like this thing of, okay, vote when you vote for whatever, fine, it is what it is.
Right.
Right. But also, like right now, SNAP benefits cut for people. People are forced by their material circumstances to build another structure of distributing resources.
Correct.
And if we were really taking advantage of this, we would be talking about this within the context of, we don't stop this just because SNAP benefits come back. These relationships, these organizations, these channels for distributing resources and money and food, like this doesn't stop just because SNAP benefits come back. This is not a stopgap measure. This should be a permanent alternative to feeding people, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because that's actually what's going to transition us away from this black and white two-party.
But that's what people like.
Yes, agreed. Totally agreed. Because one of my thoughts this morning was like, I was in the crew of people that said Trump needed to win in order for people to do anything.
You said that out loud?
Absolutely.
Lord, how'd they come for you? Which way?
you know I don't be paying these people no mind.
Oh.
I will send it off into the ether and press mute because I said what I said. As soon as they start coming, you're not smart enough to have a conversation with me.
I know. I just arrived there in my maturity.
Yo, like
I'm not arguing with you.
because here's the thing, people think that people like you and me are just like sharing our opinion.
I know.
It's like, no, I actually read and listen to people who know more than me.
This was formed.
Right?
Yeah, like the last part is the part. I listen and read people who are more informed than me. They may not think the way I think.
Correct. And may not even come to the same conclusion.
However, I didn't just dream this up from my feelings.
Right. And most people are operating from, they can't tell, you know, I won't be trying to get so deep, but that's just the way that I am.
You're the people's oracle. Literally earlier in the chat, Isabel said, the oracle about the oracle.
Like, people cannot tell the difference between their indoctrination and their opinion and fact.
So I said this earlier in the show. They don't even know. Yeah, they don't even know. I feel like at this point, the work ends up being, for me, because everyone has their roles, I'm just trying to get people to even realize your thoughts aren't your own.
What you perceive to be logic is actually propaganda and indoctrination.
And that's not a conspiracy theory. It's not an opinion. You know, it's not.
And it's not a statement about your intellect. Like, you're not stupid.
Correct. Yes.
You're not stupid because you've been indoctrinated.
No.
I was indoctrinated.
You're a tax-paying American. You went to school in the United States.
You were fed on mainstream news media, right? Your textbooks were written by.
Girl, I'm in those textbooks. I used to be a textbook model.
Wow.
I'm physically in the books.
Damn. Teach on it, preach on it then.
McGraw-Hill?
Yes.
McGraw-Hill is Ghislaine Maxwell's dad or something like that. That's the books that we were reading, and I'm in them books with the goggles on and a beaker.
You're in the science textbook.
Girl, I'm in another one with a stack of books. Like,
let me tell you something. This is totally unrelated. Why my daddy called me the other day. And he was like, yeah, so I went on Instagram the other day and I saw you on the Instagram with somebody named Amanda Seales. I was like, oh, yeah. So he was like, yeah, I went and read about her. She's been into a lot of different things. He's like, I think I'm gonna go see her at her bookshop because you know I'm from Chicago. He's like, I'm gonna go see her at the bookshop. Okay, just sit with me for a minute. And so my dad was like, well, I can't find where is it? I couldn't find. I said, I went to the website and I said, oh, it's at Burst Books, I think, on 119th or East 119 East Michigan. And my dad said, oh, shoot. Oh, you pulled that up. I'm like, where did you go? He said,
yeah, it's outside.
Hood. You go into the hood. And I said, this must be some Black-owned community book center. Is that right?
That is correct.
Okay. Very good. Because my dad was concerned for you. He was concerned for you.
I'm with Brother Amir.
I told my dad, I said, Amanda's down for the people. Like I was like, she in it, Dad. He was like, oh, okay, well, I'm
to the point where when I be in the hood, I feel like the hood, because I've been in the hood, and the hood be like,
what up?
Look at you in the hood. Like, you always have to keep your head on swivel, but for what it's worth, anytime I've been in the hood be like, y'all,
look who here, y'all.
Take care of her.
Right.
You know, and I used to live in the hood in Harlem. I remember when I moved to the hood and Joel Santana's brother, because Joel's lived a block away, and his brother had to go and tell the block,
everybody chill out.
she's safe. Leave her alone. And but shout out to Pops. I'm literally with like Chicago's own, like FOI.
Oh, okay. Enough said. Enough said.
I'm good.
Enough said. Enough said.
Yeah.
I'll tell my dad, and he will be so pleased.
Please tell
to
Pop.
hear
Is he gonna come, or is it too hood for your dad?
I think so. No.
Sometimes it's like I done made it out of there. Nope.
My dad lives on 63rd Street. Like, he's good.
What does that mean? I don't know, because I don't know Chicago.
Those who are watching will know.
Okay. All right,
So,
y'all.
we're fine.
It's like the
We're
Detroit
fine.
version of the East Side, I'm assuming, where
Something
all
like
you have
that.
to do is say that, and people are like, understood.
A little bit more gentrified, but
Okay.
yeah.
Understood.
Yeah, he's still
I will also be in New Orleans, so I'll send you the date for when
Please, I
I'm.
miss that.
Because I haven't put it out yet. I haven't put it out.
Hopefully, I'll be here because I'm traveling December. When is it gonna be? I'm not gonna be here.
Disrespectful.
Why didn't you cross-reference with my calendar first?
Someone earlier was like, "Can you move your event in DC to this other venue?"
Please.
They're like, "That venue is controversial." What ain't at this point?
Yo, that's
For me, it's like, are you not Zionist?
right.
Do you support the community?
Right.
If we can knock those two boxes out, I'm good. There's no sexual harassment charges here.
Right. That was going to be the last one. Like, if nobody was raped or anything like that, then
Yeah.
okay. No, because this is another post that I put out. I just be dropping the zingers and walking away. I was like, we look at people who we perceive to have celebrity influence, attention, including politicians. We treat them like they are our political mascots.
Speak.
In that, because we have been so systematically disempowered from our personal actions having any change politically and materially.
Yep. Keep going.
We perceive our only power to be these other people. And so they become like little puppets that we want to act out our politics and morals for us.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Right?
Keep going.
The real issue is why, right? Like, why do you need someone else to act out your politics for you? And this is not accountability. That's not what accountability is.
I did a post. I did a live yesterday at like 2:00 where I talked about a number of things. I talked about, I asked people, okay, if Mamdani wins, what is?
Ooh, come on with it. Go ahead.
I said, if he wins, what do you change about you? And I'll talk about this later in the show on my public sales announcement. But ultimately, that's the question I have for folks, because a lot of times people, when they get the elected official in place that they really like, they feel like that's the end of the job, right?
They're going back to brunch.
Yes. And I said, then you treat them like a savior. And I talked about a number of other topics, but the bots, because, the Dems come for me, right? Like they sent out their bot army. And so the bot army was out there today in that post, under that post saying things, and you can tell when they're bots and who's not bots. I'm getting better at this. And like, you have people that are like, he's not a savior. He's not a savior. He's not a savior. He's not a savior. And I'm like, whatever. Like, you guys, this is bots. But then I had somebody say, to see someone whose opinion I respect so highly and who typically is on the right side of topics, actively misspell Mamdani's name in the caption.
Oh, you gotta be.
Let me tell you what the misspelling was. Mamadani. So like, it didn't occur to you that it could be a typo. Actively is a strong word because
you spelled it wrong on
purpose
because you're disrespectful and you don't have any respect for the man. Yo, that type of stuff right there, like.
But I made a video and then I said, you know what? Nah, tuck it. I made a video this morning, y'all, that I had to tuck. See, that's the thing y'all don't know.
I'm so glad for you. That's growth.
I'd be making a video and I'd be like, you know what?
Never mind. I got plenty of those in my phone. I'm like, let me just get this off.
Yes.
Let me just get this off.
And we keep it moving.
Listen, we talk way more than you see us talk.
Honestly though, Fatima, that's the energy that was giving me, that I was being like Islamophobic. Like that's where folks be trying to go with shit. And you're doing too much. Now, speaking of doing, I won't even say too much.
Enough.
Talk to us about sidereal versus don't tell me tropical astrology. We did an entire episode of this on Small Doses, so you can hear the in-depth, but I feel like it's necessary to contextualize because you have a new ninth annual. By the way, ninth annual is, I'm impressed. Nope, that's not what I want to show. Hold on. What? Hello. Sorry. Give me a second.
Take your time, Saints.
Here it is. We have a new 9th annual 2026 sidereal astrology guide. Why? What is the guidance that we are being given?
Okay, the first thing that you need to know about me is that all of this political stuff that you hear me talking, all these lovely books back here that I dive into on a regular occasion, this is not separate from astrology for me. Something that's so important to me with anything I do, but particularly as a public astrologer, is that whatever I talk about needs to be connected to the real political material conditions that we're living through. If I can't name capitalism, if I can't name white supremacy and patriarchy, then I am taking those as for granted realities that cannot be questioned or challenged, right? If I don't have the language for what capitalism is doing to you in my astrology, I'm just gaslighting you, right? Mm-hmm. So sidereal astrology for me is like, yes, there's a different calculation here, but the different calculation is actually more accurate for me in terms of describing people's experiences and giving us a glimpse into what is coming for us. So the last thing I'll say is that sidereal astrology for me, you will, if you search sidereal astrology on Google, you will see a lot of different takes. You'll see Vedic astrology, you'll see Western sidereal astrology, but this right here is divination for liberation. And I think that that is very self-explanatory. If you know what divination is, and if you know what liberation is, that's what we're doing over here with astrology, weaving the political and the personal together.
So I just bought 3.
Thank you, Amanda.
And I'm going to give 2 away to our Patreon members.
You guys, y'all are in for a fucking treat. Listen, we ain't even got into it. Let's
get us in. Yeah, I mean, let's lock in. Like,
can I share my screen like a PDF on here? Is it gonna let me do it?
Oh no, I've never had anyone.
It says present here. Let me see what happens if I press that. Slides and PDF from your computer. We currently support Google Slides, PowerPoint, and PDF. Okay, upload file. Oh, they might be letting me do it. Okay, it's uploading. Because I don't want to, it's going to be flipped if I open up the book here. It says
I don't think so. I think it's flipped for us, but for some reason on their side, they always tell me it's not flipped.
Oh.
Right? Like this is not reverse for you guys, right? My Google.
No, it's not. It's not. It's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, there we go.
Oh, there it is.
Okay, I can't see it, but y'all can see it. Oh, bam.
Look at that.
This is so exciting, you guys. Okay. All right. So here we go. Are you turning pages?
Wait, are you able to control it?
Yeah.
Oh my God, good. I'm gonna eat my applesauce.
Okay, so this is what's in the guide. You're gonna start here. One thing to know about me, nothing in this guide is for purely aesthetic purposes. Nothing in this guide is haphazard. Everything is meticulously intentional. So these are our things. We got start here, and we'll get there in a second. We got our contents, how to use this guide, houses in my birth chart. All of this stuff is explained. Then we have divination for liberation, sidereal astrology's essentials. So if you want to know what the signs mean in my system, it's all here, planets and houses. I explained to you how the guide is laid out, and then we have the actual guide. And then there's these reference tables, okay? I'm not going to go into all of this because you can read this, but the most important thing to do in this slide is to, hold on, let me go back, is start here. Use the instructions on the website linked below to cast your sidereal birth chart, right? You will also find instructions on how to identify your rising sign there. So you're going to get your sidereal birth chart. You need your birth date, time, and location, and your rising sign. That's all you need. You don't need to know what nothing in that chart means. You don't have to have any knowledge. That's very important. Okay. So so I'm not going to go through all of this. It shows you how to do this stuff here, how to identify your rising sign. These are my favorite. So these pages, and you can see them here, how pretty they turned out.
Did you stop on Cancer on purpose?
Nope, it's just the first one.
Because you know in sidereal, I'm not a Cancer.
I know, you're a Leo, but let's look and see what Leo says. I don't want to read you, but I can't help it because it's on the screen. I love you, Amanda.
Here goes something.
Here goes, guys. Leo, this is actually your rising sign. Your rising sign is sidereal Leo. So your rising sign
rising is Virgo in tropical.
It's Leo in sidereal.
So I have a what's it called?
Stellium?
I have a stellium?
No, I think that you have just your rising sign in Leo, and you have Jupiter. Are you 82 or 81?
81.
Yeah, I think you have Jupiter and Saturn in Virgo. I think I have your chart saved in here. Let me look. I'm on my laptop over here. Let me look and see. Wow, you're just gonna do that while I'm here? Great, thanks.
Because I'm curious in sidereal. I thought that in sidereal, my sun and moon were both Cancer. I mean, we're both Leo.
No, it goes backwards through the zodiac.
So I'm Gemini?
Yes, remember? Look, hold on. Let's get to Gemini. We're going to start with Leo. Leo is the projector. So the ideal is like, this is the thing that's driving me out in the world. To be seen and known as you see and know yourself. Like,
I mean, obviously.
Literally. Literally.
Keeps me up at
right?
night.
And we're just going to skip past this other stuff. Let's get to Gemini because it's cute too. So this is Gemini. Gemini is the verbalizer. The ideal is to be able to trust that what you know is true. And the only way you could trust that what you know is true is you have to keep reading and learning.
I literally, so in that video that I kept, I said, truth is my religion.
Yes, and we talked about that in the conversation we had live last week. Yes.
Wow. Oh my God, tools, imagination. Wait, let me just center myself for a second real quick, y'all. Trust. That's my task? I feel like I overtrust. Gift.
Wait, you said you feel like you overtrust?
Yeah.
Well, that's why, because the coping strategy of Gemini is gullibility.
You're mean. I feel attacked.
I said I wasn't going to try to read you, but like, this is the thing. Like, Did for Live aka Divination for Liberation, is that girl because like it's so accurate. Like it's so, and you won't find these interpretations on the internet. These interpretations are me, my system. So when I say Divination for Liberation, I'm talking about the philosophical, moral, and political thing that undergirds this system of interpretation, but also I'm talking about an actual like logic of interpretation, right? So when you see
Mhm.
this column on the left here, name, ideal, tool, task, gift, wound, coping strategy, like this is divination. This is how I understand signs. So for example, I'm going to be quiet so you can say what you have to say.
I just said okay.
Okay. So for example here, if we talk about the gift of Gemini being knowledge, how do we get here? In order to seek more knowledge, you have to be dissatisfied with the knowledge that you already have. Because otherwise, it's just a belief that you've decided. Remember what I said on live? Whatever you don't question is your religion,
You did say that. You did.
right? And Gemini is like, my religion is truth.
Like the shift for me happened. Palestine, October 7th was big, but the trajectory in that direction began when I flew one night to Atlanta, and on the flight I watched one of those masterclass shows, and it had all these different Black scholars and intellectuals doing these like bite-size
Like
videos
lecture.
about like bite-sized lectures about different topics in Black history. So the civil rights movement, Anita Hill trial, the Anita Hill's hearings, Reconstruction, etc. And I left that plane different because I realized that I had massive holes in my scholarship.
Mm.
And it began me on a very direct trajectory that I'm still very much on to fill those holes. Like I can't stop now.
It's a right, that ideal to be able to trust that what you know is true means that if you rest on any knowledge that you already have, it closes you off to new information. So there's a balance here, right? That like, of course, you can't be too open to new information because on a personal level, it leads you to one, distrusting your own experience,
Mm-hmm.
right? I always say conversations leave opportunity for other people's opinions.
Say that
Right.
last part again.
Conversation open the door for other people's opinions.
Yes. That's why people don't like me. Yes.
But also in your own lived experience, if I may, you often invite conversation just because you're a curious, open person who likes
Facts.
to talk. But it often leaves the door open to people misinterpreting and bringing their interpretation of your experiences in a way that undermines what it was for you.
1000%. I think also I'm showing up in curiosity and others are
Correct.
showing up in a different energy, in
They're
judgment.
They're
Yes.
showing up in judgment.
Yeah.
That's the opposite sign, Sagittarius. It can be that way.
Mm.
That way.
So in the guidebook,
Mhm.
we have these pages that help us kind of get a grounding on like an overview of the various
system.
signs, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you never seen your sidereal birth chart before and you're like, what you mean I'm Leo rising, or what you mean I'm,
Right.
Taurus moon or whatever it may be. Well, you can look at these pages and you can be like, ah, damn, never mind, you right. Because that's what's gonna happen, right? I have the interpretation of all of the planets here, what they mean in transit. So like Mercury's retrograde now, that's what Mercury means here. Then we have house meanings, which I show you how to use here. These are all the parts of the guide. So let's not even read these tables. Let's get to the nitty gritty. So I can't see let me see if it'll let me do it. Yeah, it won't let me show 2 pages up. So this is the calendar. It's literally a calendar, and each of these symbols represent planets. And it is noting that on this particular date, something is happening. So we have these tables back here that tell you what each of those symbols means. And then don't worry, because it doesn't matter if you don't get it. I have in plain English written interpretations for each of these transits. Right? So January 1st, 2026, there's going to be a full moon at 18 degrees Gemini. Reconciling the contradictions between words. Right? So I show you how to fill in this blank with the relevant meanings for you, but you can also use this as a journal of reflection. What does this mean for you at this time? And I do this for everything that's in this calendar. Then we have questions. So this is a personal horoscope workbook. It's a journal, and it is a calendar. And it walks you through the personal application of 1 year of astrology. And you don't need to know jack, because I know everything about astrology. And so I'm telling you here, right? So this is the last part. We've got just a quick little summary, and then we have these questions. Now, remember, this is divination for liberation. So this ain't going to be some, on January 7th, stub your toe and be the love of your life.
Right.
No, this is in January. What disruptions or improvements during in your material circumstances occurred during those periods, the ones referenced up here. Or we have a question. Let's just go to another random page here. Let's see. In April, what practices or rituals are you implementing to increase your capacity to hear your feelings and body? Spiritual, religious, therapeutic, health, relational, or physical? That's the type of time we're on. We are trying to integrate the political into the personal, because there's a time and season for all things. And luckily, I'm really good at knowing what time it is.
You see, what this is also is, so sometimes I feel people don't understand the difference between just like commerce and being a merchant of like your actual skills and your work, right? And it's so obvious here that your intellect, your labor, your knowledge is what people are like. You're not buying an astrology guide. Like you're purchasing insight that you are now getting access to also then gain your own insight from. And I think that's really where we're at now, is how are we providing people with tools? One, there's the tools of actual living, right? So how are you getting food and shelter and clothing and being able to like provide for yourself? There's also the tools of your spirit, of your soul, that are also necessary, that I think oftentimes get overlooked, like art and why we need arts and artists involved in movement. And I'm really appreciate just the very directness of this. Like, it's not alluded to. The liberation aspect isn't like, you can apply that if you feel comfortable. No, that's
no. My dead people will be like, if you don't. Get your life together. One last fun fact. So you can download the PDF to this and you can print it like what I've shown on the screen. You can also pre-order this printed version. You have till Friday, because I'm doing a second printing. And every single thing in this guide, from the words to the concept to the layout and design, I did this all by myself. There is nobody, I did not collaborate with anybody on writing this. Queen, recognize Queen, come on with it. So when you see these pretty tables with the full page bleed,
you better tell them about a full page bleed.
Like, with the wire O bound, 70-pound uncoated text. Like, stop playing with me.
I need y'all to understand how I had to take off my glasses, because it really is learning an entire other language, like printing things. at this point, I'm like, okay, I need to order I have to order a sample book so I understand weights.
Yes.
Of paper, like all the things. And I find it fascinating every time I continue to grow as an adult and find new curiosities that I want to become hyper focused in and
Efficient.
understand.
Yes.
And printing has been the latest one for me.
And that's very mercurial. Your chart is Mercury dominant. And Mercury wants to know, it wants to be precise, and it wants to know the nitty gritty details. So like there's a mistake in here, and I had to order labels, but I had to go in my master file and get the measurements of this little box so I could purchase the correct size. Like,
ma'am. So I printed it, and then I said, oh, I need to make corrections. These are all corrections that I had to go back and make before I could sell it to y'all. I had accidentally put it for sale because I had connected the shops and I did it wrong. One person got that version.
Oh, damn.
Well, but I returned everybody. If there were 30 other people, I returned all their books. No.
I know that's right. So this mistake won't be in the new copy. Also, the cover will be different because this is the cover that I did last year. This is 2025.
Okay.
So it's a bigger size. It's the exact same thing, but this is like all like a matte and silky. I don't know how that didn't happen on this one. So it's going to be matte and silky. Also, you get a lovely sticker.
We love a sticker.
Yeah. I mean, first of all, this logo is so cute. These are clear. They're kind of hard to get off. This logo is so cute that I'm about to get a sweatshirt made because this is like, no one has ever seen these words looking like this.
That's like you're gonna do well with that.
Yeah. I'm gonna get me a black sweatshirt hoodie with this like on the front.
Yeah, I'm here for that.
Same. I used to be against it, but it's like, you know what?
Against what?
Like selling people shit all the time. Like Beyonce selling something else again today. Like, lady, read the room. Like, what are you, a retail brand now?
I was gonna say, I think it's different. Like, I sell things because that's how I live.
Right.
Like, I'm not selling y'all things just to do it. I'm selling y'all things that's how I support myself.
Right. Like, ain't no house over my head if I don't this pays a few months rent. Okay.
Yeah. Like, that's a real thing. And I've had to, in my disengaging from capitalism, I've had to ask myself, those questions, like how are you doing this different than you would have before, right? Like what? And I think for so many of us, it becomes a question of, am I doing this with purpose or am I doing this just because I can?
Right. Right. I think intention matters. And I think that like how I feel about it is that like my politics are my politics. My work is my work. There's intention and spirit that all goes into it. However, this is still capitalism. And I'm not a martyr. Like, I'm not going to starve. I'm not going to hoard.
Well, it's not even valuable to starve. You know what I mean? Like, it's not even valuable to starve.
Right. Which I feel like people on the left be like, and I find this no shade, but this is just my work. I find this very commonly with Gen Z. They take so personally that everything that they do needs to be changing the world. And it's like, I can't wait for them folks born in 99 and 2000 to have their Saturn return because I need you guys to relax. Like,
well, here's the thing. I'm going to kind of disagree here.
Hit me.
I think it's just that there isn't a refinement of their rage. So it becomes that you like possess this thing, but you don't know where to put it. Mm-hmm. And we're in a time right now where you have abilities to put everything everywhere.
Yeah.
all the gosh darn time. And so I think that what's going to happen on that side on the other side of that Saturn return is a refining of that. Like it's difficult when you are, it's like when you sober in a room of drunk people, you're like, I see what you're trying to say, but
Right.
you're not there right now because you're not there yet. That's what it feels like as an elder a lot of times in talking to folks who I'm like, I see your heart. I see why you want
Yes.
everything
To be just.
Yes. However, here's a great example.
Okay.
So there's a organization called, I think, Climate Defiance.
Okay.
And one of the guys is a young white guy. I think he might be Jewish. And he was able to get into a room with Wes Moore, who is the governor of Maryland.
Mayor of Maryland. Yeah. Oh, governor of Maryland.
Governor of Maryland. Yeah, he's the only Black governor. And so this is a private, like, hotel room type, the type of thing where people pay just to be able to have a conversation. So I would say there may have been like 6 other people there. Like that's how intimate it was. His distance from Wes Moore is no more than 2 feet. Okay. And so they have a video of him talking to Wes Moore, and he's like, "Oh, I met you at this place, da 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 da." And Wes is like, "Oh, I remember." And he was like, "And now you are a yellow belly." Like he started coming at him.
The sow.
Right. And so then immediately the security took him out, and that was the end of it. And so I had said in the comments, I feel like this was a missed opportunity because you got to the fire before you got him to flame himself. And so many people in the comments were like, "You don't understand. You're a lib," etc. And what I was trying to say was,
not a lib.
They're like, "You old lady, that we're not
right, you're out of touch."
Yeah, we're not looking for conversation. But what I was saying about conversation was, I feel like there was an opportunity to get him on tape playing himself if that was the goal.
But it's so performative. That's my point. That was a performance. It did not change anything other than to make other people.
But that was the argument that they had back, that they were like, we embarrassed him. He feels some type of way. We have to shame them. And I said, I don't necessarily feel that they felt that in that moment.
Right.
They said he shouldn't have gotten hemmed up. And I was like, you're in a room 2 feet away from somebody. You see security there. If you start insulting them, whoever they are, security absolutely needs to hem you up because folks be doing all type of things these days.
No, that's true.
And so there was a difference, I feel, generationally, that was this is not really, there's no argument really here, right? There's approach. And
that's fair.
I have grown out of Gryffindor into Ravenclaw.
I am not a
I have grown out of brute courage into
strategy. You just described, this is why I love Divination for Liberation, because you just described that exact generation that I'm talking about. They have Saturn in Aries, and Aries is all about force. It is all about, if it's not happening, it's because I didn't do it. And it is my responsibility to make it happen. And if I can't do it, it's because I'm not strong enough. I'm not loud enough, right? And the opposite of that is Libra, which is literally strategy. So when they have those born in 99, 98, 99, 2000, when they have their Saturn return in 2028, something like that, whatever, that's what's going to be at play. And I really think that right now, we literally are in a similar astrological point, like what we just saw with Mom Donnie now. I think by the time we get to 2028, that's going to be much bigger and more expanded. And I think
so.
Yeah. And I think our challenge is going to be that, just know And this is not because I'm trying to shit on anybody's parade and that like I'm a negative Nancy.
I already know where this is going because they already accused me of it today.
But just know that Mom Donnie is like government cheese on government bread after you haven't eaten for like 5 months. Like it tastes so delicious because you're starving, but it is absolutely the bare minimum. And this is not an indictment of Mom Donnie.
Even if it was, that would be fine. We have to stop acting like these people are impervious to critique.
Well, I just mean that reading the bigger picture of this moment, he wins because that's where he is, right? Like if he really asked for what the right thing is, like dissolve private utility companies.
Yes.
Right? Like because that's what we need to be on. Like, fuck trying to get these people to charge us less money. No.
Exactly. Dissolve it.
And make it publicly owned. Right? Like if he asked for that, we don't get a Mom Donnie. Right? He's lightweight, beginner, remedial socialism. And so
wait, no, what was that? What was that?
All I'm trying to say is that, like, again, the government cheese sandwich tastes incredible when you're starving, but you should get to have some lobster even if you are on SNAP.
So this is the commentary I see a lot of times when people will say things like, I think we all know this though. No,
we don't.
You don't. And it is beyond.
We don't all know it.
Yeah, it's beyond my scope of comprehension how often I see people make a we statement that is so very obviously not the case. Your individual ability to glean that is not a shared ability that is gleaned by the masses.
That man was in the aisle at like Sam's Club dancing on TikTok because it was empty because people with SNAP benefits were, quote, clogging up the aisles. And that was a Black man. Like, people genuinely believe that you should starve if you don't have a job.
Mind you, it's something nuts, like 60% or 40% of people on SNAP have jobs.
Right. Most people do. and most of them work for McDonald's and Walmart. Like, please.
Right. The reason that people are on SNAP is because minimum wage still remains on a federal level at $7.25 and they refuse to raise it. Right. And even the conversations of raising it don't raise it to where it should be.
Which really should be like $30 an hour.
Correct.
Not $15.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I say all this like you to just say, it's not a negative Nancy as much as it's just reality Ruthie.
Yo, and you read my mind, Amanda, because I was literally about to say, like, don't misunderstand the role and function that people like you and I play, right? I'm not a hope dealer.
We're not.
Like,
we're translators.
Say it again for the saints in the back pew, Amanda.
We are truth translators.
I call what I do sanity making. Because literally, you're having an experience that you don't have the language for, and you don't have the language for that on purpose. You're using the language that is accessible to you, even though it doesn't fully describe. So when I say to, like, people who have sidereal Scorpio, like, you've been alienated, right? Like, you're tokenized because you're Black. They're like, yeah, that's in my chart. Absolutely. Absolutely, it's in your chart. And this is how you're going to make money, XYZ, right? Because these are the real material conditions that we're living in. I know that I can say certain things because I look like this. Period. I can say things that make people upset because I look like this. Like, please. Like, I get it. Because I know, like, no, like, this is real talk. I know that if I had on some more pounds and my skin was darker, people would have all types of names for me, saying the exact same sequence of words.
I think because I'm light skinned,
And it's the same, exactly.
they like, no. I'm like, but I'm saying the same thing that Dana's saying. And they're like, nope.
Yo, and like I'll be sitting there watching your videos and I'll be like, damn, why are they talking to her like that? Like I literally just said the same thing. Like to the point that you gotta put my face on your page, literally saying not only the exact same thing, but in the same cadence you would say it.
Tonality, everything.
In the same tone and inflection you would
in
say
the
it.
camera.
I'm loud and they're just like, right. And I'm just like, you guys are racist. Like, you guys are anti-Black.
I mean, it's really just, I mean, it's white supremacy, right? Like to some people, I look like a white woman trying to tell them what to do. You know, I look like privilege trying to tell them what to do. That's how it gets
They're
received.
like, Amanda, just go enjoy being light-skinned.
That's people have told me that, literally.
Like, that's insane.
And I'm like, I don't even want to be light-skinned. This is just how I showed up.
And Black people come in all shades. Like, I need everybody to stop playing that, like, but you know, anti-Blackness is a core tenet of surviving this society. Like you cannot survive this society unless you are anti-Black. You can't. Absolutely.
But we're surviving.
Because even if it's just a little bit, it's in the same way that you can't survive capitalism without selling your labor.
I'm not anti-Black. I'm anti-dumb stuff. Okay. I'm anti. But okay. So the thing about it though is that I feel like it's like I'm anti the thing, and it just happens to be Black people doing the thing.
Let me break it down for you. I am anti-exploitation, but in order to survive capitalism, I have to participate in exploitation. My personal politic, the ideal that I hold for myself, embraces and celebrates and joys in Blackness. But to survive this anti-Black society, I have to participate in anti-Blackness.
Explain. How are you anti-Black?
Because capitalism is anti-Black.
Okay, well, that's simple. I think
white supremacy is anti-Black. So it's not my personal politic.
There's also a flip about that though, because the anti-Blackness ends up in many cases requiring a centering of Blackness that is being ignored. And so by you even having to center the Blackness in spaces where it's like, why do we even have to do this?
Why does this have to be the central subject of the conversation?
You're still participating because it's what it is, right?
Like to not be.
Someone said you anti bro. On Polo travel solo. Sound like Andy, bro. That was
like real talk. But the reason why I frame it that way is not as some kind of gotcha, but to understand what the stakes are and to articulate that like these systems are all consuming to the point that to survive it requires your participation.
So there's a venue that I'm talking to about doing a book reading app. And they were like, so what do you have for the cost? What do you want to do for the split, et cetera, et cetera. And I was like, so I don't have a job. Like I don't have a job. So I'm in your job. This is the job. So I was like, in order for me to continue this growth space outside of the traditional means of
Channels.
capitalism and channels of capitalism. Like, I need a little bit of help. And they made the decision to say, so then we're going to handle this differently, based on understanding that if we don't think that way, we continue to perpetuate the same system that we are claiming that we want to disrupt or that we want to destabilize. Like, if we're not using the capitalism to undermine it, what are we doing? Like,
Right.
that's that's really, to me, at the end of the day, what it boils down to. And we're trying to figure this out. It's, you're building a plane while flying it. Unless they come and disrupt, unless the aliens come, and which they might, because there's a thing that's out there right now that they don't know.
I heard about that. I feel like every time the shit start getting good and crazy around here, they be like, "Ooh, the aliens coming."
I mean, yes, but I also think the aliens do be coming because shit got interesting.
But also, the aliens are already here.
They're very much here. Don't let me go down this road.
I'm not, and that's why I'm just letting it go. I'm letting it go.
I'm not down this road. Don't let me go down this road. I will run down this road. I will put my backpack on. I will bring with myself some snacks so I could stay on that road.
You know how you be like, truth is my religion, and I know our time is running up, but you know how you be like, truth is my religion? I feel the same way, and I feel like it doesn't matter whose mouth it comes out of. Like, that's the difference between me and a lot of people. Like,
it matters for me. It matters for me.
I will hear what some, quote, problematic people have to say. I don't have to uplift their voice. I don't have to lend them any credibility. But, like, for example,
nope. Nope. Do that on your channel.
And I will. Join me at the Divination for Liberation podcast every new and full moon.
Get you the 9th annual edition.
Amanda said, she snatched that mic in front of my face so fast. She was like, and we won't.
Nope. Y'all, you know what to do.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. These, sometimes I don't think not sometimes, it's just the world we're in. We do not really acknowledge how important it is to just have conversation.
Yep.
Because people want to have all these, like, so what's the solution? I'm like, how are you arriving there?
People used to just go sit at the community center every Thursday and have a meal because they was hungry, and then they having conversation, and that's how you get shit like, I can't even remember what the book is, but you know, where they're trying to flesh out, do we need a Vanguard party, or do we need...
Thank you. Yes.
It's casual. It's not, let's curate. Oh, God. You know, I'll be about to go somewhere. I'm not going.
But you know what it is? And we had these two brothers on here from the from the Alliance of Boys and Men of Color. And they were talking about how they learned in their coalition work that none of the work is really valuable until people see each other as people. And I was like, oh, like thinking he meant like, you know, the ruling party doesn't see us as people. He was like, no. I mean, like each other. He was like, we literally have to spend the first day of the retreat just hanging out, like talking about, like doing the trust falls, sharing
the icebreakers, man,
all that stuff, because he was like, the rapport has to be more than just, this is the work I do. Yeah. What is the work you do? Like, there has to be some more teeth in there to really bring us to bring us along. And that brings us all the way around to trust. Like, you can't, I don't, people be trying to build revolutions with folks that they don't even know who their real name is and picture on Instagram. And I'm just like, I can only go so far. Don't send me no voice notes if I don't know what you look like and I don't know your real name. Don't.
Yeah, like, and I think that's like the trick of the internet, that it confuses you about who your neighbors are. Oof. Like, your neighbors. Well,
that's why I'm so happy to go out on the road right now, even though the Zionists are coming for me, because every time I go out in the world, I am reminded, like, oh, real people.
Right. Humans breathing, living.
Nice. One time I got up to go to the bathroom on a flight, and a woman stopped me, like literally, like, and was like, I want to pray. And
the saints be aggressive with their prayer, but okay.
I allowed it.
I know that's right.
I allowed it. You know, whenever I'm in the world, I feel like y'all be really making it your business to be like, hey, I love you.
Yeah, the internet is not, I'm not going to say it's not real because it is real, but.
No, it's a different kind of, well, you have bots. So it's a psyop.
Right. Like the things that people think is their opinion, because people gravitate towards the loudest voice and the thing that most people are saying. So if most of the people that are saying it are bots.
And the algorithm encourages that. Like you're not even having a real experience of information because something is driving things to you.
Right. And I think that like in terms of surviving this era that we've entered of AI, of bots, of algorithms, like building in-person relationship, like you got to know people's name.
That's what I'm saying.
You got to know.
That's why we did the Amanda Land Summit. We did the Amanda Land Summit because people who are here in this chat every week were like, we need to see each other in person.
Damn, I missed that.
So I did an Amanda Land Summit here in New York. And, you know, I was so happy to see how happy folks were to just be able to like put face cards to people and be able to just sit and talk, not necessarily have to strategize and organize and, you know, but then at the same time, also be able to have those conversations and learn, you know, so those are not underrated. Those are underrated spaces.
Yeah. Yeah. And the internet, I mean, obviously after 2020, the internet kind of really took over and being like the third space. Like,
shout out to Marley Diaz. Yeah.
Like it took over, like it was already on that trajectory, but it became the only space.
I use it as a third space thing.
I do too.
Okay.
Like we own it. We own it right now.
But we be on Patreon having a blast.
Listen, I got my Podia, I got my podcast, I got my Instagram, got my YouTube, got all of the things. And I'm grateful because I'm surviving because of this third space. Like I have over my head and plants that need to be watered and a full belly because of this third space. However, right? When it comes to like, there's no replacement for in-person eye contact and the mirror neurons and the nervous system affecting each other. Like it's just no replacement for that. Where you can really feel somebody's intention.
Period. And I will end that with a little story. Last night I went to my storage unit and there was this man who was like moving things from one unit to another and he had this lamp. And I was like, damn, I like that lamp. But I just let it go. I let it go. But then I had to like make 2 trips and I saw the lamp again. So finally I was like, I like that lamp. And he was like, oh, this lamp? He is from Finland. I can't do the accent, but and he was like, oh, this is my wife. He's like, oh, you know, we're moving. And so we started talking, chit-chatting, and I had on a shirt that said Israel is a settler colony. And then he said, oh, your shirt. You're wearing a shirt praising Israel. And I stopped and it was like, okay.
He got you. He
Where we going with this? We in the storage unit. There's
right.
Where we going? And I said, no. Do you see what this shirt says? This is a shirt that is pro-Palestine. And he was like, that is a good shirt.
Right on. Could have went another way.
And so we ended up having a really nice conversation. Then when he was leaving, he was like, I'm going to give you my card because it was just so nice to be able to have this conversation out loud and not just. Yeah. I was like, yes, I understand.
In that accent, that's how you said it.
I understand. Well, thank you so much for joining. You know, they love when we key. They love to watch People's Oracle and Amanda Cole key. So.
And another time, we're going to have our own show. And I don't know what it's going to look like, but It'll be fun.
It'll be
I love it.
fun. People
It'll
will hate
be-
us so much.
They won't. They're not going to be able to help themselves. Two Black women, loud mouth, smart.
Offset my light skin privilege. Offset it.
I'll give you some of my brown.
Offset it. It's fucking up my messaging.
Oh, that's just so sad but true.
It is. It is. You have a fabulous one. And you all know what to do. Go to get your guide at shop.thepeoplesoracle.com.
Thank you.
Yay! Yay! That was a good time, y'all. And I told you we were going to have a short show today. So let's get into PSA. So for a lot of people, they feel like they had a win in Zohran Mamdani securing the mayorship of New York. And I don't discount that at all. I just want to always remind us that we are the win. Zohran Mamdani won the mayorship of New York because of the people. He didn't take money from Israel lobbies. He didn't take money from oil lobbies. He won because the people made it possible for him to win. And what I get concerned about is that the people are cheering on Mamdani, not cheering on the people. And that is what I always want to remind us. So when I ask folks, what are you going to do different on the other side of this and not making him a savior? What I am saying is, how are we going to continue to engage as a populace that is informed, as a populace that is demanding, as a populace that is unshaking on what we want to see for our leadership? The fact is, government is continuously moving in a direction of, we are going to do what we want. We are going to move how we want. And ever so often, we're going to come and ask you to make it possible for us to do that. But the truth is, there are factions that are always going to make it possible to do that. So how do we as a people then become more powerful than those factions? If we don't have the money, then how do we do it? And that is the part that a lot of people are not understanding. They're thinking that if we are simply putting the right person in office, then that was the job. No. In this particular government, we are in this particular country putting the best possible option of people in government is what allows us to do what we would do regardless of if there's a government. That is how I frame today. This is a very positive outcome that does present the possibility of more positive shifts. That will only happen if we, the people, remain in position and not become shiftless. Amanda Land. PSA. Great time with y'all today. This is a different kind of episode. Ever so often we got to switch it up, and I appreciate y'all just riding with me, right? Just going on with the ride with me. Yes, as Megan said, hit the like button before you go, and go down to those comments and comment. Shout out to our replay crew for joining us, to everybody who's listening on the podcast, and shout out to everybody who blessed us with a super. You are so appreciated here at the Amanda Seales. Here at the Views from Amanda Land show. We operate on you know, the love of y'all. And also big ups to Dana Lynn Knuckles, the People's Oracle, as well as Jesse Mechanic. I mean, we had such a vibrant conversation today. It was the complete opposite of every other conversation you are going to hear that is related to the political happenings of today. And that was my goal. I will see you all in Santiago tomorrow, and I hope to see you all also in Detroit at the Wayne County Community College District, the Curtis L. Ivory downtown campus. I will also be in Chicago in the hood. All right, South Side. All right. And then I'm also going to be in Seattle. Now in Seattle is where the Zionists are really trying to shut me down. They're trying to do everything in their power to make it not happen. So I would love to see you all shut them down by showing up. And we'll have a great talk, a great book signing, and all of the above. Remember also on the 8th, I will be doing my live stream performance of What Would the Ancestors Say? And you can get your tickets at amandaseals.com. Support a real one. And last but not least, if you just so happen to be balling like that, I am doing a turkey drive for the St. John Deliverance Church in Nyack, New York. If you can, donate a turkey. If you live in the proximity, bring one by. If not, just go online and order a turkey and have it delivered to the address right there. Thank you all again for being the amazing folks that you are. We had such a high viewership today that I really appreciate people sticking around when they realized that I would not be talking about what everybody was talking about, because I know they wanted to hear me talk about it and they did not get what they thought. Because I know people be thinking I'm going to be angry at blah, 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 because people don't understand. They don't understand, but we understand. Okay. And when I say we, I see me, myself, and I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm at, and I can't wait to see y'all soon and be there with you. 30 seconds of stillness. Amen.